Trumper with a machete has been arrested at a polling place in Florida. Put up the picture for a mask. I got a hell of a saga here, hell of a story to tell you. There was not one, but many displays of misconduct this month at polling places across the country. In Florida, it was a teenage boy brandishing a machete at Kamala Harris supporters. In Pennsylvania, a member of the RNC allegedly intimidating voters and telling them how they should vote. And then in Indiana, a former GOP congressional candidate was accused of stealing 2 election ballots. Caleb James Williams faces charges of aggravated assault on a person 65 years of age or older and improper exhibition of a firearm or dangerous weapon. He was arrested this week outside a voting site in Florida after waving his machete at Kamala Harris supporters. In a press conference after the arrest, Neptune Beach Police Chief Michael J. Key said Williams, quote, brandished a machete in an aggressive, threatening posture over his head at 2 women ages 71 and 54. Williams was accompanied by 7 other male teens ages 16 and 17, who police said went to the beach's branch library to protest and antagonize the opposite or the opposing political side. Now, let's be clear. These are teenagers, okay? Teenagers typically are not this involved in politics. They're not even old enough to vote. So where are they learning the behavior from? Oh, their parents. Well, the parents mimicking. Who are the parents mimicking? Oh, the current state of conservative politics. They're mimicking their Lord and Savior, Donald Trump. They're mimicking all of the rhetoric on the right that has been fascinated with violence for a couple of years now. At minimum, it has become mainstream. And we said this cause and effect would definitely happen, where you would have the mimicry of behavior being personified inside of children. And this is what you have. So the group, quote, the group was there for no other reason but for ill intentions to cause a disturbance, the chief said, kind of like a Trump supporter, right? This is not an incident of solely a First Amendment protected right, but rather one where they were simply there to cause a ruckus. Wait a minute, Chief, I get what you're saying, Chief. But how do you distinguish what these kids did to what an average Trump supporter does? Their intentions are in bad faith. They are typically there to just be a nuisance. They bring guns. They bring their gang flags. We've seen it. And we've also seen the police protect them in those communities. We've seen them drive to particular communities, neighborhoods with their khakis on and their mask, jumping out of a damn U-Haul, talking about white power. What's the difference, Chief? They're just following the example of the adults you let get away with it. There's more. Duval County Democratic Party Chair, Mr. Daniel Henry, said in a statement, the young men had been wielding flags bearing former President Donald Trump's name during the incident, and that the individuals they confronted were carrying signs in support of Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. In case anyone was questioning the size of the machete, here it is. Okay. That would terrify anybody, especially elderly women. And only a coward would do something like this. Williams appeared in court Wednesday where the judge set his bond at $55,000 plus. He was ordered not to go within 100 feet of a polling, 1,000 feet, of a polling place unless he was there to vote, and will be outfitted with a GPS monitor, the judge said. On the same day, Trump supporter Valerie Bianca Nello was handcuffed and escorted from a Pennsylvania voting precinct line. Multiple complaints said she harassed voters and told them who they should vote for. Here it is.
Wow. 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 That's crazy. You locked her up? That is insane, man. She is not influencing people. She is not at all.
Contrary to the narrator there, she was influencing people, and that's why she was arrested. Quote, I encourage people to stay in line and vote because the Democrats were discouraging voters from in-person voting today in Delaware County, said the RNC official. Well, okay. Larry Savage Jr., who lost a GOP bid for the U.S. House earlier this year, has been charged with destroying an election ballot and theft for an incident that happened on October 3rd. That's according to the Indiana State Police. Is the GOP calling out all of this voter intimidation, voter fraud, and voter manipulation? No. Are they calling out the theft charges? No. Are they calling out the guy who had the machete? No. I thought they wanted to protect the ballot. I thought this was about protecting access. That's what they told us. All of these new laws that seemingly restricted individuals from voting was really about protecting everyone's right to a fair election. What happened to that? Where you at now? What comments do you have? What statements? Nothing. Silence, crickets. Why? Because fundamentally, those on the right, especially those who support Trump, they no longer want democracy. You cannot win them with that argument. So stop. This is fundamentally different. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Yeah, they don't want anything close to democracy or voting integrity. The story's all cap, okay?
Yep.
They want for you and I to really give up our right voluntarily to vote because we're in fear, we're intimidated. They want to disfranchise us any way they can, and it's sick. Some of this stuff you're relating here, and I think it's a wonderful episode, and I'll call it your election integrity episode here, is thug life.
Yeah.
This is thug life behavior.
Yeah, easy. But they are not being characterized as such and should be.